Your posture habits, how you're sitting, how you're standing, what you're doing repetitively throughout the day, especially when you're sitting, has a lot to do with your chronic aches and pain. That's one of the blind spots that people need to really be aware of that could eliminate or relieve their chronic aches and pain. So what really was a turning point in my career and finding my calling in helping people with chronic aches and pain is about over 13, 14 years ago, when I was still in my early stage of personal training. And mainly my goal was weight loss with clients. But I started having clients that had chronic aches and pain. So one client who had shoulder problem, I asked if I could go to physical therapy with her so I can learn just by watching what the therapists do and even ask the physical therapist question. And while we were in the waiting room, I remember chit-chatting with a woman next to me that was waiting for her appointment to see another doctor, another physical therapist. And towards the end of the conversation, I remember asking, "Oh, what are you here for?" And she said, "Well, I'm a kindergarten teacher and I have to use the bathroom and pee every 15 minutes. And I just can't leave these little tiny kids by themselves every 15 minutes. It was getting to the point it was ridiculous and not normal. And so I went to see multiple doctors," she said, and two of them want to do surgery on my bladder. But a good friend convinced her to see this physical therapist that specializes in women's health, pelvic floor and other challenges that a woman might have. And the therapist figured out that it has nothing to do with her bladder. It was her psoas muscle that was super tight, that was pushing against her bladder, which is caused by sitting on these little tiny stools where whenever she's working and teaching her little kindergarteners, her knee was past her hip, higher than her hip. So it made her hip flexor muscle really, really tight because it was very shortened. And so all she had to do was stop sitting on these little tiny stools and stretch out her psoas, roll out her psoas and stretch out psoas, her hip flexor muscle, and it no longer gets tight and pushes against her bladder, causing her the urge to pee. So that was a really turning point in my career because I was like, wow, doctors want to do surgery on a perfectly healthy bladder. So if she did went through that, she would have so many other complications in the future. And I have many, many more stories that I will share with you over time. But this is just one that was just eye-opening. So I hope this helped you be more aware of this story will help you be more aware of your own habits. And if you're in chronic aches and pain, that it might be as simple as just changing your posture habits. Aloha.